If you're at all compelled about the longevity and expansion of the Mizzah Tee Show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Links below.
Hey there, fools. Big T here, and I'm back with another video. And this video is about a little game known as ReCore. They since have put out an update to the game, basically ReCore Definitive Edition. If you bought the game, you can just do an update, I believe, and you don't have to like buy a whole new game or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. But just wanted to kind of talk about this game a little bit. You guys have seen me over the last couple of years or so doing video, doing videos and having the gameplay in the background. Obviously, it's a game that I like, and a game that a lot of people are either indifferent to or don't care about, or just don't like. And it's everybody has their own opinions. I'm not saying this game is great or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you're a fan of like platforming type of games, you'll like this. And I think that's a reason a lot of, I guess, core Xbox fans didn't care for this game, because there's a quite a bit amount of platforming. And if you don't like platforming games, i.e. Nintendo games, apparently, you wouldn't care for a game like this. But I say this game is solid. It's not amazing, it's not great, but it is a solid game for a constituent of gamers who like this type of game. And I feel like if a lot more people who like this type of game knew about it, it would have done better. I just think it being on the Xbox at that certain time, exclusive and whatnot, a lot of gamers missed out on it. And so let's talk about it a little bit. I think I'm a pretty good judge of video game character, if you will. I think, I rarely like a game that's bad. And I, love great games, and I'm always interested in great games, even if I haven't bought them yet. They're still in my mental Rolodex, and that just aged me using that term, mental Rolodex. But there's still games that I'm thinking about, or games that are on my watch list or something like that. So I'm a pretty good judge of character when it comes to great games, because I'm still, even if I haven't bought them yet, like I said, there's still something I think about. And terrible games. There are games that are just really bad. They're good, kind of like movies that are really bad that are good. So I kind of like those. But it's really rare that I like a bad game. So keep that in mind. But I feel like this is a good game. It's solid. The controls are solid. There's you upgrade basically. There's RPG elements in the game. It's not an RPG. It's more of an action shooter platformer. And the visual style is fine. It's like sometimes the game visually looks really good. Sometimes it's just somewhat bland, and I guess maybe because of that inconsistency, the game may get a bad rap. But it's never like, oh my god, look at these visuals, they're terrible. Like I said, again, solid. Solid is a word I'm going to use a couple of times here, because it is a solid game. It's not about the story. There is some story there. Obviously, there's a decent amount of story there. That's what propels your character forward. You're kind of trying to find out what's going on with their dad, I believe. And I said I believe because I can't really remember, because I played this game off and on over the years. And but every time I play it, I'm having fun. So there is story there, and that's what pushes you forward. But for me, it's I like the combat. I like the combat system. It may feel a little bit repetitive here and there at times, but that's fine. There are some puzzly elements to it. I mostly enjoy the visual style of it. Like I said, I do love that there is platforming in the game. You get your jump, you get your double jump, and then like there's these little booster segments where where if you hit them, you go through them and you get your jump counts back. So like, say if you jump and if you jump and then you double jump, that's it. That's all you usually have in a game, in a platform game. But if you hit these booster things, you jump, double jump, hit the booster, you get your jump and double jump back. So that adds some strategy to long chasms that you got to get across and stuff like that. And I have fun. I have a lot of fun with the platforming in this game and just figuring it out. And I like the enemy types. There's a nice, decent amount of different enemy types. I find it compelling, and this game was made by former Retro Studios people, I believe. I think what's his name that working on Mega Man? I can't think of his name right now. It's right at the top of my tongue. But the guy, he has some influence in the game, I guess. He's part of working on a Mega Man. What's his name? Former director, and like I said, former Metroid Prime people. So they try to push that in the marketing a little bit. Oh, made by the creators of Metroid Prime. Is it Metroid Prime? No, but there are elements of a Metroid Prime a Metroid Prime game with the backtracking and the upgrading and finding upgrades and stuff like that. And that's as far as it goes. It's not as polished as a Metroid game, but it is polished. It is a solid game that I think people who are fans of Metroid, this is like a Metroid Lite. You would still, I think, have fun with this. If you're a fan of platforming games, like I said, I think you will have fun with this game. And unfortunately, it gets a bad rap. I don't think this is a great game, but I feel like it's a good enough game that more players should play. And I don't know if they're giving this game away yet. You can pick it up on PC, I'm pretty sure, and obviously on Xbox One. This would be a really good game to come over to Switch as well. Like if this partnership with Microsoft and Nintendo continues. Nobody's really talking about this because, like I said, the game. If you don't know about this game, if you haven't played the game, you kind of go along with the narrative around the game. But it is a good game. It's a good, solid game. And I wouldn't mind this coming over to Switch. I would buy it again to play it on Switch. So there's that. But like I said, the visual style is good. It's not great. Sometimes it looks really good. Some of the boss battles are pretty good. You have like mini bosses and you have like major bosses, and they're always a fun battle. There is good challenge in the game too. If you're not, equipped to battle, then you get your ass handed to you. There's this whole pulling out the cores gameplay aesthetic to it, which you can choose to do that. Cores obviously help you as far as upgrades go. The more cores you have, the more upgrades you can get for your robot dog companion. You'll need that because I can't think of his name right now, but he has like this spider wall kind of thing that you need to be able to do to get through certain segments. Again, that Metroid Prime like stuff. I'm sure they took that idea from there. It's kind of like the morph ball segments. So you're gonna need to upgrade your companion because he's the one that's gonna be able to get through certain things. Well, you and him combined, and there's the shooting elements are solid. I can't find a flaw. I can't find that just like this is outright flaw of the game. I can't think of one. I think this is a solid game. I just think maybe the genre is the reason, much like Starlink, and I'll talk about that in another video. But I think the genre is the reason that this game didn't do as well, or because initially there was a lot of buzz. A lot of people were excited about it, and I think that was a little bit of Xbox fanboying because it was an exclusive coming to Xbox One, and I think there was that. But once the game came out, those guys didn't really support it. A few of them did, but I think, I feel like this game would have done a whole lot better on a Nintendo platform because it is a platformer. And I think, Nintendo fans are more agreeable, more accepting of a platforming game in 2019. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the game. I think you should pick it up. If you have an Xbox One, if you have a PC, I think it's worth a buy. I'm sure it's pretty cheap now. It was never expensive. I think it came out at $40. So I think it has a good amount of puzzle elements, platforming elements. Everything is solid. There's nothing that you die or you fall or whatever, and it's the game's fault from bad mechanics or bad design or anything like that. I think it's all solid. when it comes to that. Maybe the environments aren't as varied as you would like, but it is a desertish kind of futuristic planet setting, so you're not going to get too much with that. But some of the interior stuff is really cool. Some of the cave, when you're going through certain labyrinths or whatever, that stuff can get pretty varied and cool designed. I haven't seen anything that's like cold or ice type or anything like that. I think you fight ice-like enemies, because that's the thing. You also have to change your weapon to match the enemy sometimes color, which is another thing that that's similar to what you would see in Metroid. But overall, I think it's a solid game, and I think a lot of people have fun with it, because every time I put up video of it and people don't know it, they're like, "Oh, what's that game? That looks cool." And then I tell them, and like, "Oh, they already have their preconceived notions of what the game is about from what other people have said. Probably people who haven't played the game as well have said. This game, if I was to give it a rating on a scale of 10, I'd give it like a 7. It's a 7 game, but there are times where I'm having 8.5 types of fun in it, and so it's up to you as far as that goes and how you feel about that. But every individual is different, but I think it's a solid game. So yeah, that's all I want to say about it. Maybe you should check it out if you think it's interesting. I have some gameplay obviously here, and go check out the other videos I have with it in it. Yeah, it's up to you so let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does this game interest you now after my little video here, or is it a game that you already bought? What do you think about it? Do you follow the narrative or narratives out there? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you as always for watching and listening, and I'll see you fools next time. Peace out.